Why did you leave Japan 8 years ago?
I started dating with my husband. Yeah, American husband.
If I come back to live in Japan for a long time in future, that will only be for
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Takashi from Japan. So today I'm going to interview Japanese people living abroad. Why did you leave Japan? Okay, let's get started. Why did you leave Japan 8 years ago?
Um, I graduated my uni and I started working in a real estate company in Japan, and that was hard as I expected. Like, you can't get much annual leaves. Like, technically you can, but if you take it, your boss is gonna look at you like, "What the heck are you doing? Like, are you sure? Look at your sales. Are you sure you want to go for a holiday?" That kind of like atmosphere is always there. So I was like, okay, this is not my life. Sorry for my parents. They spend a lot of time and money for myself, for my education. But I decided to quit working in a big company and decided to go to Australia because we have a working holiday visa. There are a lot of people around me who have that experience, so I could ask them about it. My working holiday started in Sydney, Australia, and I looked for a job after a week. I started working in a construction site. I started working warehouses and stuff. And eventually I found a job in a furniture company, furniture showroom actually. So I was moving furniture around every day and sometimes used to go to deliveries and stuff. In that environment, I needed to use English every day. So that helped me to improve my English, yeah.
Why was it Sydney, Australia?
That's a good question. Because Canada, we can have a working holiday in Canada, but Canada could be cold, and Canada could be cold. That's the only reason. And actually, the time differences as well. Yeah, time differs too much, and America sounds a bit too dangerous to me. And Europe, I've been to Europe many times by myself, so I was like, oh, okay, I know about Europe. I know I want to watch UEFA Champions League games, but okay, leave that for later. Australia sounds good. So. Just like that, yeah.
So how's your life there? After 8 years, you're still there.
Life is good. Life is good. Like I said, Australia is a very fair country. Whatever the job you do, you can have sufficient money to sustain your life, which keeps the country safe because people have the standard life. That makes me feel very comfortable to live there. And yeah, there are lots of job opportunities. Weather's always good, beaches everywhere. Love that. But at the same time, it's bloody expensive, especially nowadays. Like, my rent has gone up $200, which is like 2만 yen in a week. Like a week. So 800 Australian dollars a month. Yeah,
Increased.
suddenly increased. So it's bloody expensive. I personally love ramen noodle, and when I go to ramen noodle, at least I have to pay like $25. That's like, wow.
You can get 4 times here.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh. But at the same time, because I live in a nice place, of course, it's like a posh suburb. If you want to live in Sydney, Australia, you gotta pay more than the other places. Yeah, something like that.
As a Japanese person who left Japan, do you have plans to come back in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I have some plans in my head. So I'm engaged and I'm trying to maybe have a baby next year or I don't know, 2 years later. I want to raise my kids in Australia until they get 18 years old. After they graduate from high school, I can come back to Japan and have another life again in Japan.
Why do you want to raise your kids in Australia instead of Japan?
Well, obviously, education's better. I believe so. Yeah, and also, if you like, not everyone, but if you have an education in Japan and you automatically start working in Japan, Japanese companies, like I said, working in Japanese companies could be very, very tricky and stressful. But if you have the education in Australia since you're a kid, you have an opportunity to be able to work in an Australian company. I think their life, it's simply going to be easier, more chill, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think not many Japanese people take courage to go abroad, like you did 8 years ago. Why do you think you could do that? You are able to do that?
Because some people only think about money and they say the life is stable. But okay, if you receive enough income from a company, but if you don't like the job, I don't think it's a stable life. I don't think you have a happy life. So my company was big. If I were working until like let's say 30 years old, yeah, I have definitely sufficient money. I can go abroad for holiday maybe every half year. But I was not happy. So I was really not happy. So I did that. If you're super happy about the situation now, I don't think you should sacrifice the lifestyle now and go abroad. I don't think so. But if you have enough income, but if you are not happy with your job, with what you're doing, then maybe you can quit the job and go abroad. And if you don't like it, the lifestyle in abroad, you can always come back and start something else because you didn't like that anyway, the job you had. So there's no risk.
じゃあ最後にちょっと日本語でなんか言いたいことあれば。
わかりました。タロサックと申します。僕も、オーストラリアで YouTube で日本人以外にインタビューをしてたりとか、あとは英語の、学校をやってます。今英語喋ったんだけど、いきなり日本語に切り替えると難しいですね。日本語喋るの。
なるほど。ありがとうございます。Right, thank you for your time. Could you introduce your background?
Hi. Yeah. I'm Hitomi. I'm from Japan. I currently live in San Diego for 2 years. I was born and raised in Tokyo.
When did you go to the States for the first time?
The first time was like 20 years ago to learning English and
In Boston?
in Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was like 2 months, 3 months just. I just wanted to see the abroad country like America, and at the time I was so into the Friends, the sitcom. Yeah, and so I want to see the real American culture and learn English, and that was amazing. Couple months. I was only 20s, and everything was just fresh and new.
Rest in peace, Chandra.
Oh yes, I know. That was yeah.
Okay. Why did you start living in San Diego 3 years ago?
I started dating with my husband.
American.
Yeah, American husband, and that was 3-4 years ago. And we got married. That's why I moved to San Diego 2 years ago. Yeah.
And now you just visiting Tokyo.
Yes, I'm visiting Tokyo, and it's amazing to be back home, yeah, hometown.
So what it's like? Can you describe your life in San Diego, Japan? Yeah.
That is so tough, and because I've been living in Tokyo for 40 years and then moved to San Diego. It was amazing, but it's difficult to adjust, new culture, new, the language different, the culture is different, the food is different, and it's really hard for me. Yeah, I'm getting used to. Yeah, and now I have friends there, and my husband is very supportive. So now I feel very comfortable for living in the States. But now I'm back here in Tokyo, and everything is so convenient and safe, clean, and amazing. And so I feel like this is my hometown, but I love living the States. Yeah, so I can't choose.
About the language, you speak English? How did you learn? How long did it take?
It was a lot of process, but 2 years ago when I got married to my American husband, I was able to communicate with him, of course, and I was able to express my feeling, but it was kind of hard to join like a party or his friends, or that each person had their own accent or own, the unique
Really?
accent. Yeah, different. So it was every time I joined the dinner with friends or party, I was like so nervous. Yeah.
As a Japanese person who lives in the States, what do you miss and you don't miss about Japan?
What I miss Japan is so many things I miss Japan. Yeah, food, safety, cleanness. Japan is a very peaceful country, and the States is much more danger than here. So
What you don't miss?
I don't miss. Crowded train, and just in Tokyo, but it's so many people and people are everywhere, and this crazy crowds is the one thing I don't miss.
Do you like to drive? Drive a car?
No, I don't like.
How can you live in the States?
I know. I don't drive. I don't have any. That's the one reason that it's hard. It was hard to adjust this life in the U.S. and yeah. But I have bike.
あ、なるほどなるほど。
Yeah, so many things I love about Japan, but I would say this country has a long history, and I love the traditional Japanese culture because I'm a Japanese traditional dancer, and I've been learning that for over 18 years, and I've been connecting to the traditional culture in Japan, and it's beautiful. It's so one and kind of only culture in this planet. After I moved to San Diego, I missed this traditional culture like temple, shrine, you know. Now I'm so grateful for having this traditional culture. Yeah. And I'm so lucky to be born as Japanese women.
What you don't like about Japan?
I'm sorry?
What you don't like about Japan? Oh, you didn't say what something you prefer in the States more than Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
なんか
Yeah.
どうですか？
Sexual harassment.
Okay.
I think this is sensitive matter, but when I was younger, I experienced a lot of sexual harassment, and in the train or on the street, in a public place. And I think there's a lighter penalties for sexual crime here.
United
And
States.
yeah. So I had many bad experience here and in Tokyo.
It's a little bit normalized, I think. Like,
Yes.
yeah, compared to the States.
Yeah, and I guess so many young women had the same experience. Yeah, so that's the one thing I don't like. Yeah.
なるほど。Gender equality?
Mm.
That's something that Japanese people feel ashamed. Yeah, you need to feel ashamed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a deep and long history. Yeah.
Have any plan to come back to Japan in the future?
Yeah. Of course, my American husband lives in San Diego, so my home is him. So I think I will be back and forth between Japan and US. Yeah.
Indefinitely living in Japan. That's not gonna happen.
I don't know. I don't know.
not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
not now. No.
Yeah, not now. Yeah. Yeah.
日本に来たい人になんか日本語でちょっとなんか言ってみてください。
日本に来たい人、神社とかお寺とか、もしそういうのに興味がある方はぜひ行ってみてください。すごく美しい文化なので、ぜひそれを体験しに来てください。はい。
Before we continue interviews, this video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. Sakurako is a subscription service where you receive a monthly box filled with traditional, authentic, and artisan Japanese snacks. Sakurako helps in partnering with local Japanese snack makers to continue to share Japanese culture and traditions that have been passed down for over 100 years. This month's theme is Valentine's Indulgence. It's a very special season for Japanese people as well, so step into the charm of Valentine's in Japan. Sakurako also has Japanese tableware every month. This month, I got this Kikyo plate. This is mentaiko senbei. I personally love mentaiko, which is spice called raw. It's really good. I want more. This is komachi azuki pie with a perfect balance of sweetness. It's a delightful and wholesome treat. Tokyo Treat is packed with latest seasonal sweets. In contrast to Sakurako, which represent traditional Japanese culture, you can feel a modern life in Japan with Tokyo Treat. This month's theme is Be My Valentine. This holiday in Japan, you will see people line up to buy chocolates for friends, family, or their crush. This is Happy Town Rice Crackers. I used to have this when I was a kid because this is my dad's favorite one. This is Cutie Pie Donuts. I also used to have this with my family when I was a kid. I really feel nostalgic with these snacks. And each snack is explained so that you can see where it was produced. And you can also check origin information. This will give you more places to go when you come to Japan. So if you like to experience having a good quality Japanese snack right in your home, click the link in the description below. Okay, thank you for your time. Can you introduce your background?
Yes, I'm Mitsuki, 31-year-old. I was born and raised in Tokyo. I left Japan 11 years ago, so when I was 20. And this moment, I live in Romania and Dubai. I'm back in Tokyo for just a few weeks.
Okay.
So I left Japan 11 years ago when I was about 20 years old. I had several reasons, but the main reason was that at that time I failed entrance exam to Keio University. I had many options in life. I wanted to actually see people in different places, live in different kind of lifestyles. And then I wanted to decide my direction in life. And that was the main reason why I left.
Where did you go first?
First, so It's kind of funny story, but I always wanted to go to Hawaii, which is a very popular destination for Japanese people, but I hadn't been there, so I saved money and I went to Hawaii, but then I got denied entry, so I had to come back to Tokyo the next day, and then I had to save money a little bit again, and then I flew to Europe, to be exact, Bulgaria. I hadn't decided that time if I wanted to come back or not. But then, when I left Japan, I started traveling and living abroad. I was like, okay, there's a lot more that I can learn abroad. And also, when you are young, usually you are working or student, and I was traveling. So I was like, I cannot just go back to Japan without doing anything. I was like, I had to succeed in something
Before coming back.
before coming back. Otherwise, I would be too ashamed to come back. That was this moment for last couple of years. I been living in Romania and Dubai.
Any reason, any particular reason you decided to leave those countries?
So for Romania, a couple of years ago, I was actually living in Rome, Italy, working for a Japanese company, and then I got a new job from a Japanese company based in Tokyo, but they had a new business going on in Romania. So I went to Romania, then I opened my business. But then for Dubai, my partner at that time got a job in Emirates Airlines. She had to move to Dubai, so I started traveling to Dubai often.
As a Japanese person who lives abroad, what do you like and you don't like about Japan?
This I think is a very interesting question. So when you talk to Japanese people who live abroad, you often meet many Japanese that dislike Japan, and then that's the reason why they left Japan. But me personally, I like Japan too, and there are many things that I respect about Japan. But I think that Japanese people tend to distance themselves from others. Like for example, just a few days ago, this is a real story. Just a few days ago, I was in a train station of Yamanote Line, and there was a guy who was trying to commit suicide. He jumped into the train, and I had to stop him and calm him down.
But it's kind of happened quite often in Japan.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I've heard, but it was my first time to actually get myself involved in it, and I comforted him, and he just burst into tears when I hugged him, and he told me that it was his second time trying to commit suicide in a train station, and nobody stopped him. So he was like, nobody cares about me, And I think that people care, but in Japan, people really distance themselves from other
They
people.
don't take action.
Yeah.
What do you like about Japan instead?
Of course, I like food, Japanese food. I like it a lot. It is a beautiful country, and what can I say? It is. I am from Japan, so it is my root. So I never even question myself if I like Japan or not. I like it. It is a part of me. So yeah.
Do you have any plans to come back to Japan to live here again?
If I come back to live in Japan for a long time in future, that will only be for taking care of my parents, maybe, because they're getting older, or any other family members. I think that will be the only reason.
So other than that, you wouldn't come back.
I don't think so. There is a part of the world that I haven't explored yet as well, so there's a lot to do abroad still. Before I didn't come back to Japan very often, so maybe once every 2 years, but last couple of years I come back to Japan at least once a year, because when my grandfather passed away, I couldn't make it to see him alive, so since then I really do my best to come back to Japan as often as possible.
Anything you want to say to those who's coming to Japan?
I personally recommend foreigners that come to Japan to go to countryside and then to try to live with local people in their house.
Not just
somehow,
Tokyo.
not just Tokyo, because in Tokyo there are many foreigners, and I think that just because of this, it's not that easy to immerse themselves to local people. If you go to countryside, they will talk to you. Maybe they let you stay in their home.
Right.
Yeah.
東京出身ってことですね。
そうです。俺は
東京
東京出身。
東京の好きなところは？
本当例えば今住んでるドバイとかに比べるとドバイとか車とかねバイクとかないと移動できないいちいちいろんなとこ行けないんで東京はねちょっと歩いたらコンビニもあるし便利ですよねジムも1分歩いたらあるし、便利です
Okay, thank you for your time. Can you use your background?
Yes, I'm 100% Japanese who was born and raised in Japan. I used to live in States for a few months and now I live in Japan. In California for 3 months and then I moved to Florida for 3 months. So when I was in California, I studied about hospitality and then I moved to Florida and I joined the internship in Disney World in
Oh.
Florida.
So California and Florida, which one did you like more?
I like the weather in California the most. So like if I went back to States, I will definitely choose California.
To live again.
Yes.
What about Florida?
It was
What did you like about Florida?
but I was stuck in the like Disney dormitory, so like I didn't experience a lot, and also I went back home since COVID, so I didn't experience a lot.
Also, because of COVID, you needed to come back earlier.
Yes.
Do you have any plans to live abroad again, going back to the States there again, or do you plan to live here, live in Japan for a while?
Nothing planned so far, but I don't think I will stay in Japan forever.
Or even though you're Japanese, born and raised in Japan.
Yes, like I want to experience more, like other than Japan life.
After living in the States, what do you like and you don't like about Japan?
I of course I like food, like and like everything in here is so like high quality for cheap prices, so I really like that thing. But honestly, like people here are nice, but like not friendly, not friendly every time. So I sometimes kind of miss like small talk, having small talk with strangers.
Oh, very American. That's
Yeah.
very American. Alright.
Yeah, like in here, like there's nothing like oh I like your hair or I like your clothes. Like there's nothing like that. So I kind of miss that kind of experience.
What part of your personality you think you became Americanized? And what part of your personality you think you still very Japanese?
I think it depends on like when like, I'm speaking Japanese and when I'm speaking English. Like even when I'm here, like when I speak in English, I feel like I'm more like expressive and like straightforward. But like when I'm talking in Japanese, like even with foreigners, well, I feel like more like polite. Like I don't know how to say like more calm.
Which part of you like more?
Uh,
Your personality when you speak Japanese or English?
I,
Which?
I'd say American. Like when I'm speaking in English, because like it makes me easy to make friends, and also like I can be honest with people when I'm speaking English. So yeah,
Any advice for people who want to come to Japan to live here?
I think Japanese people are not that friendly compared to other countries, but like once you get along with them, like people are so friendly, like you know, like they're so nice.
It just takes time.
Yeah, like they have like thick wall between the strangers, so like please break the wall. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, can you introduce yourself in Japanese, attend?
はい
なんかお願いします。
はい、ななこです。日本人の日本生まれ日本育ちでアメリカに数ヶ月住んでました。
ありがとうございます。
はい。
Okay, thank you for watching so far. How was it? That was interesting. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, click the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any question that you want me to ask people in Japan, please leave the comment too. See you next time.